Hi, I'm Stephen Budden. A broken neck many years ago caused me to rethink my life path. I had been an artist, diligent, competing with Picasso in my mind. Like, he spent 8 hours a day drawing, I have to spend 8 hours a day drawing, this sort of thing. And, coming up with some successes, winning most of the awards that were available, or rising to most occasions. Now, I wasn't really what I would classify as fully alive, though. Like, something was missing. This is all sort of ego based achievement. And I was also really, really, really in my head. Like, I could hardly access emotion. In our culture, we learned to shut that down. I wasn't that in tune with my body, etc. So, what did I need? I needed kind of a shock from the universe, and that's what I got. So, in 2008, I was bodyboarding, and a big wave came and slammed me into the ocean floor, breaking my neck. Now, I believe that happened for a reason. And I'm going to help you go into your breaks and traumas and derailments to find the purpose for your life, because the light is there contained within that seed. We just have to learn to decode that. Now, for now, we learn to live around that break. I was already kind of holistically minded because my mother had healed herself of crippling arthritis after the doctor said she'd be wheelchair bound with juice and fasting and a few other things. And so as a child, that had been like, oh, we can heal anything. So I already had that kind of delusion anchored into me. So that's the path I took. And as I started to pull the thread to this broken bone, my whole life unraveled and everything connected. And I saw that a broken heart and a broken bone were similar mechanisms, similar healing, etc. And all of these wounds stem from a certain place. So I want to show you this exciting journey where you can become more fully you. And mostly I work with intuitive leaders to help them come alive again, heal their past so they can leave a legacy that really matters. This is an invitation to live life at another level than what you had before. Now, after I kind of woke up from that near-death experience, I saw life differently. And when you talk, I'll hear things differently than anyone else, because I've never been in a session where like, oh, so-and-so has already done that with me, ever. Because a CEO came to me and said, I can't communicate in front of groups what's going on. And he had 2 PhDs and an MBA and a lot of high degrees. So I knew that like just telling him something was just going to be absorbed into this massive library of internal knowledge. And that's also how he related to the world. So we needed some sort of shock. So I said, your knees are in the wrong place. And he was like, what? What does that have to do with anything? So suffice it to say, we did adjust the knees, and that whole communication pattern changed. He was free to communicate in front of the group, be spontaneous. He wrote a few books. He brought it all together again. Now, what do knees have to do with communication? That's the kind of inquiry, that's the kind of question that matters. That's the kind of thing that's actually important. So the real way of saying is, how do we get more holistic in our conception of what we think our problem is so we can come to the actual problem? What the knees have to do with communication is that the knees are one of the bridges in the body. These bridges that I've found and played with, they're ancient, they've already been known. I just break it down into systems that work. And the knees, if they're locked, that creates a rigid pelvis. Instinctual centers locked up, the feet are collapsed. You can't feel grounded or stable. You can't acclimate to what comes. You can't really genuflect or kneel or surrender. So all of those things, though the knees itself, it's hard to say how the knee affects communication. What about all those other things? Do you communicate differently if you feel unstable, if you feel unsupported, if you feel disconnected, if you feel ungrounded? Yes. So we start to see that it inevitably has a huge impact on how you communicate, the knee. And you can do this with any body part. The knee is just a good example. That was just the entry point. And his life was dramatically changed. We healed a relationship with a parent that had been traumatic, and he actually changed careers soon after and was able to make all these beautiful changes in life. Whereas if we just kept approaching the issue as something in the head space, like how many more years could it have gone on that way? Forever. So take another point of entry, and this is your invitation to that. I help conscious leaders just break open the bonds between them and what's most real. So if that is you, comment rapture, and I will start a conversation with you and see if we may be able to work together. The caveat is that I really only work with people that feel exciting to me because I do this kind of as a labor of love. It's financially rewarding, and I do a few other things that are as well. So I like to make this something about you become more you, so you can go out in the world and carry this light that you were destined to be here with, and the world starts to become illuminated like a constellation of stars. So that's the vision I have in my head when I do this work. So if that's you and you think you will be edified by this, I have a few books that I've written as well, which I can post in the comments. And you can read those and see if we resonate, and then see if you would like to apply to get on the wait list. Thank you so much. I hope that helped you clarify your journey of healing, and I look forward to getting in touch again soon.